Custom Crochets, and this is apparently podcast episode 1. I put up a prequel episode 0 intro to who I am and why I do what I do a couple weeks ago. I think it's just called the prequel. But yeah, it's back in my channel a little bit. You can find it in case you're wondering some background on who I am. It's kind of a little about me, but this is actually going to be a podcast, so we shall see. I feel like I'm supposed to start off by telling you like the date and the weather and where I'm coming from, and I don't so much care about the weather. It's November. Today is November 11th, 2019. Veterans Day. My husband's an Air Force vet, so that's cool. Yay, veterans. And it's November, and it was strangely like 62 degrees today, which is totally not normal for New England. But anyway, I'm coming to you from my art studio. Not really. It is my guest room, basically. Has our guest bed, all of my husband's guitars and musical equipment, piano, laundry basket, lots of random storage, and then this nice wall of yarny things. This is yarn, that's yarn, obviously. And I got a chair. I've owned this chair for quite some time. Where did I get this fabulous chair? Off the side of the road. But I was doing my other videos sitting on the floor and it felt kind of weird, so brought this fine chair in here. It swivels, and it also like leans back, but I can't because I'm against a yarn shelf. Looks like a cozy spot to have a chair to sit and do some crocheting, but in reality I am like 1.5 feet away from the guest bed, directly in front of me, and this is a really weird spot to put a chair. But for the sake of the videos, there's a chair here now. I actually have notes, sort of. Anything that I talk about is going to be down in the down bar, drop down menu, whatever that is down there, that thing. And I will try and be very diligent about linking all the important stuff. If you're looking to find me, I will have all of my little Ravelry, Etsy, Pinterest, Instagram, all the places. But basically anywhere you want to find me on the internet, search Bella's Custom Crochets. Yeah, that's me. All the good stuff's at bellascustomcrochets.com. There will be links to everything else there as well. I'm not going to be doing show notes, but I do have a blog that has some fabulous content on it, but I'm not going to do show notes on the blog. I'll just link anything important underneath here, I think. Like I said, this is episode 1. I don't really have a clue what I'm doing. I watch a lot of knit and crochet podcasts, but I think there is definitely a uneven ratio as far as knitting podcast to crochet podcast. There's way more knitters out there. So as a mainly crocheter, I am a crocheter and I design crochet and sell crochet as an occupation, and I knit as a hobby. But yeah, as mainly a crocheter, I would like to kind of jump in and fill that gap, and also just kind of represent the maker mama boss lady community and be a little helpful haven to those who are looking to maybe start out their own craft business. That's really what I focus on my blog, is like beginner tutorials and tricks to being a crafty boss lady. I've been at this for about 2 years now. I officially quit my job last January to do this full time and stay home with my daughter. But yeah, I don't know that I know what I'm doing, but I like to offer help where I can. If you want all the backstory, go watch the prequel episode, I guess. And if I keep looking down, it's because I have this notes, like I said. Sorry the lighting isn't great in here. It is nighttime. We're doing what we can schedule-wise. I may look into getting some better lighting in the future, but for now, I hope that one day I look back and I say, "Oh, Bella, episode 1 was so cute. You were trying so hard, girl." So, future Bella, I'm sorry. What was that noise? That was a cat running into the door that I closed. Real life. My husband is upstairs with our baby, trying to keep her consolidated and happy. She is teething, and it is a wreck. She's turning 1 this week, which I cannot believe. That went really fast. But she's getting molars, and she's an angry lady. So, if you hear any fussing, it's my angry lady that I love. Let's see. I don't know what that was. Jeez. Looking at the notes, as far as podcasts go, I think I'm just going to stick with Bella's Custom Crochets Podcast or BCC Podcast. I know a lot of people have like a catchy podcast name, but I'm trying to stay on brand with who I already am, I guess, so that's going to be that. And as far as format, I'm going to need some feedback because I know a lot of people do, they like film in segments and then they piece it all together and they have like little musical interludes in between and like a photo of a yarn bowl or something, and they're like, now we're moving into the whip section, now we're moving into the stash positions. I kind of want to just talk at you and not have a set format. My husband does all the video editing and he's pretty good at it, I'd say, but I kind of like the ones where people just kind of talk. So let me know what you think, if you prefer the neat and tidy like little cubicles of whips are works in progress. Just more, I guess, organized podcasts. I'm not going to have a set, like, rigid format because I might be talking about different things every time. It's going to kind of be what I'm working on, what I'm designing, and whatever else I want to talk to you about, really, because it's my podcast. And that's kind of the plan now. We'll see how it goes once I get this up. If I don't like it, we'll do it different next time. There's no rules. But let me know what you think, what you prefer generally when you're watching, because I am curious for feedback. What else am I supposed to tell you? Oh, what I'm wearing, sweater, store-bought. But the shawl is my Tidal Fades shawl pattern. You can see that it's got lovely fade to it. It's got some beautiful texture, really fun edging. It's all twisty. Can't really, it's not focusing. Really twisty edging. Some gorgeous little tassels with beads. This is, like I said, Tidal Fade shawl. This is the DK version. If you go to the Etsy or Ravelry shop of mine, you will also find a worsted weight version. And you can find this DK weight version on my blog for free. We did it as a crochet along in the month of September, so it's broken into, I believe, 4 posts because it was a month-long pattern release. But this was with a local dyer. You're going to find as we go that I am very passionate about working with local makers, specifically in the fiber arts community, but I can work in other people as well. That's awesome. I am part of a group. I'm from Connecticut, if I didn't say that. Connecticut in the US of A. I'm part of a group called the Nutmeg Collective, which is an artisan group of Connecticut makers, and I do a lot of stuff working with all of them. And then this yarn, she's not part of Nutmeg Collective, but she is a Connecticut dyer, Laine Lotus. Her name is Jen, and she is fabulous. So this is her yarn in DK weight. Put it back on, but the top color is called Mint Julep. The middle color is called Birdhouse Dream, so that's the speckly one. And then the bottom color, this copper, is called Autumn Equinox. So I did it in a DK weight with her yarns. And the pattern does include the information on how to do the tassels as well, both on my blog and in my shops. And yeah, it's a really fun one to showcase hand-dyed yarns. You could definitely make it with a box store yarn. There's a time and a place for all yarns, but I did design it with handmade or hand-dyed in mind. And like I said, it is a fade, but you could totally do whatever color combo you want. It's your design. It's your project, I guess, my design. But I like it when people take the creative liberty, within reason, use your imagination and make it special for you. So yeah, Tidal Fades, DK. That's what I'm wearing today. I guess we'll get on to some works in progress. I have a bunch of stuff I want to show you, and I'm going to try and make this clear and not ramble on too much. I am a bit of a rambler, and full disclosure, I filmed this last night as well, and the camera got angry and only saved half of it, and yeah, so I'm doing it the second time, so I may not remember what I said yesterday and what I've already said, so I might repeat myself. I'm sorry. Doing my best. Husband will edit appropriately. And like I said, anything that I talk about, we're going to link down below. I will always try and be very conscious of tagging other designers and makers, so like you'll have the information for Laine Lotus if you want to go find her and her beautiful yarn, because I want to support other makers and their ventures as well. works in progress. I have a couple designs that I'm working on right now. I am in the middle of my market season. Usually from like September to December is my peak pre-Christmas selling time. So I've done 5 or 6 so far this year, and I think I have a total of 10. So a couple more before Christmas is going to happen. And during that time, I kind of back burner designing just because my brain can only handle so much. And like I said, I'm a stay-at-home mom as well, and I'm working within the schedule of a toddler, and that can be interesting. But totally worth it, and I love it. But market season, I really focus leading up to that on inventory. So I've spent all year making a lot of inventory, and I'm actually not stressed about inventory this year, which is fantastic. When my daughter was first born and like napping a bajillion times a day, I got so much making done. Next year's gonna be way more interesting because now she can move and do stuff and is a climber and an adventurous little spirit. So gotta keep her out of stuff. But I do have some designs that are going to be released soon-ish. The first one I want to show you guys is called the Dandelion Dreams blanket. It is a standard, I think it's like 30 by 36-ish. Might be bigger than that. I don't remember the exact dimensions, but it's a standard baby blanket size. It's not like car seat size. It's, you know, maybe like 2.5 feet this way. And got 4 colors of, this one is in Big Twist, which is Big Twist Soft, I guess is the yarn. It's a Joanne brand. So exclusive at Joanne. The original one that I designed has already gone, sorry, I'm trying to put that down, has already gone to the friends that I designed it for. They're having a baby right before Christmas, and their shower was a couple weeks back, so they have the original. And usually when I am designing a pattern, I am not one of those people that, God bless you if you are, that can write the pattern first and then make it and kind of like test the pattern themselves. That is not me. I have to make the physical item, and I used to then go back and try and write down the notes afterwards, but I've gotten way better about taking notes in my phone, or used to do it on paper, but now on my phone it's easier if you just like kind of start a Google Doc and then you can just edit it later. But careful notes as I go, and then go back and check it and edit it myself before I send it off to testers. I am not a mathy person. I cannot do math. I can't do math, not well. It's not my strong suit. I am very much a creative type, and that's okay. But I get the math done, and thank God for testers and a tech editor because they hold me together. But the original blanket design, I totally fudged the edging because I like got around and I thought I had done math so that it would work out and I'd have the right amount of stitches and increases and whatever, and no I did not. So I made some magic happen, and their blanket is beautiful and perfect and lays flat and everything, but it is not perfect. But this one, for the sake of writing the pattern, I remade a second one. This is going to be going out to another friend as a Christmas gift. They also just had a baby recently. So the edging, I believe, is now correct. I'm going to be doing a tester call probably within the next week. By the time the video's up, the call may have already happened. We have our daughter's birthday party this weekend, and I wanted to get that all out of the way, and then I'm going to do a tester call. What I usually do for my tester calls, in the future I will be putting up a video on what I look for in testers, but tester calls, I do them on Instagram. I kind of amp up the pattern for a couple days or a month or so leading up to it as I'm designing it, and then I do a tester call on Instagram, and then there is a link to a Google Doc form, Google something, that you then fill out, and I go through and I pick applicable testers for that situation. At some point I would love to have a big pool of testers that I just email a set group of testers and pick from there, but for right now I do a application for every single pattern, and that works so far. So if you want to be on the lookout for either the release or the tester calls of this or any future patterns, you're going to want to follow me on Instagram at Bellas_custom_crochets. Like I said, all linked. You'll find me. had a train of thought. It's now gone. Also, this yellow, it's not doing anything for my coloring here. You'll also find out through this podcast and everything I'm about to show you, mustard yellow is life. Mustard yellow forever is my favorite color. But the inspiration for this pattern, I've released another pattern called the Dandelion Dance Shawl that has a really beautiful section of daisy or star stitch in it. This pattern here, I have altered the daisy and daisy slash star stitch. It goes by a couple different names. I've altered it enough that I'm now calling it a dandelion stitch because it's not really truly the stitches anymore. And I've tried to look up if that is a thing, this alteration. I haven't been able to find it, so I am calling it my own. I'm sure somebody somewhere has done it, but for the sake of my pattern and being clear, I'm calling it a dandelion stitch, and I define it and lay it all out there for you. And there's going to be a photo tutorial and hopefully at some point a video tutorial. I need to get some equipment to do overhead well-lit videos, but we're working on that. Anywho, it's got just this really pretty flowery dandelion-y motif to it. It's definitely a little more feminine, I'd say, as far as baby blankets go. Got a really pretty ruffle edge that we think the math is right on now. We're not sure. No, I really think it's right. I redid it, I wrote it out, I've ripped it out like 87 times. I've done math and redone math. I think it's correct now, guys. Maybe, possibly, hopefully. Good luck, testers. But by the time the pattern is released, it will be correct, it will be tech edited, and we'll have it right for you. Like I said, it's a 4-color. It's got this nice, I guess you would call this, I don't know, lace or open latticey section in the middle, which is fun for babies to, you know, stick their little fingers through. And yeah, it's worsted weight. This is an acrylic. You could definitely make it in something fancy or hand-dyed, but anytime I'm gifting baby makes, knit, or crocheted to friends who aren't in the fiber community, I don't want them to have to worry about blocking or hand washing or anything gleaning, any tedious care. Because babies are gross, man. And I want them to be able to just throw it in the wash and not have to worry about it. Usually I tell them to let it hang dry just in case. I think it gives it a longer life, but acrylic is great for baby makes. I stand by that. Time and a place. For every yarn, babies, they get acrylic. I have made some stuff for my daughter in wool, but I know how to care for it. And I don't think any first time or even a mom with other children with experience, just when you're in that baby phase, you don't got time to block stuff and hand wash, let's be honest. So that's the Dandelion Dreams blanket. I'm very excited about it. I do have another baby blanket pattern in my shop that is knit, which is the Be Brave baby blanket, which I designed for my daughter. Her name means brave, and designed that back when I was pregnant last year. But yeah, excited for this one. So stay tuned. That pattern will probably be tested and ready mid-December, maybe, hopefully. I will keep you posted. If you want to be in the know, like I said, follow me on Instagram, or also I will send out a email to my mailing list anytime I release a pattern, so you can find the mailing list link on my website. There's a little subscribe bar section thing, and also through my Instagram in the link in my bio, there's a little pop-up. Subscribe to the BCC Buzz newsletter. So you can do that if you want to be in the know about new patterns, new blog posts, new content, sales or promotions, if those are happening, all the good stuff. You can subscribe there. Also, if you want to like and subscribe to my channel, I appreciate that. And if you don't, that's cool too. You're still welcome here. What else we got? I have another mustard Meg. Mustard Megs. Mustard Megs. Da-da-da. This one? Oh my goodness. The lighting is so bad. I think it's alright, guys. I'm sorry. So this one, it's kind of languishing. It's hanging out in my another Connecticut maker. Can you see the tag? ColeMama Creations. My friend Nicole makes these beautiful hand-dyed rope knitting bowls. She also makes baskets and backpacks and little trinket bowls and all sorts of just beautiful stuff. She's also out of Connecticut. ColeMama Creations. Definitely check her out. She's also a knitter and fiber enthusiast. I believe she spins as well. So she has a lot of stuff made with fiber arts in mind. I love this knitting bowl. It's huge. But what we're talking about is what is in the knitting bowl. And it is languishing because, first of all, it's more of a spring design, so I'm not super rushed on it. I will have it out in the spring. But I got really excited about it, and I swatched and everything, as one should do when one is designing. But I don't think I made my swatch. This is the smaller, there is a larger swatch. This is the tiny first swatch. Big enough, or maybe I misinterpreted how much stretch was going to be in there or something, because when I did the math based on the gauge in the swatch to do the sizes, it fits me, but it doesn't fit me how I expected it to. So the measurements are not matching up to what it should be on paper, because math is hard, guys. So I'm going to try again, but this is going to be called, this is a square, but I'll show you the garment in a second. It's going to be called the Fan Deco Vest. I took inspiration from those Egyptian fans that you see in Egyptian art and paintings and whatnot. Like the Egyptian gods are always holding these big long like poles with this big beautiful fan on top. And also from those same fans, the Art Deco architecture and art age. There's a lot of fan motifs in that, so that's where the Fan Deco name came from the fans and the Art Deco. I will see if I can get my husband to insert a photo somewhere of some of the pictures that I was using for inspiration. I'm really happy with how this came out. Again, I think this is an original stitch pattern. I haven't been able to find this anywhere else, but it's really pretty. And I'm working it in Fair Isle Port. That other baby blanket, the knit one I was talking about, I designed in Fair Isle Harbor, which is the same yarn as this, but it is in a sport weight, I think. It might be DK. I think it's sport, though. It's a 50% cotton, 50% bamboo viscose. Is that how you say that? Viscose? Yarn. It's got a really loose twist to it, so if you're not careful, it is one that you can kind of split as you're going, but it's worked for this pattern in a pretty large hook size, so it's a loose gauge and you're not going to worry about tedious little splitty yarns. I can't imagine knitting with this would be super fun. I haven't tried knitting with it though, but I really do love this yarn. It has beautiful drape to it. It washes well. Machine wash on cold and then hang to dry or lay to dry. Do not iron, do not throw in your dryer. I think that's just because it's cotton and bamboo and that's not going to hold up well to heat. But it is very durable. It doesn't pill. It washes beautifully, like I said. And the blanket that I made out of the thinner version of this, my daughter's turning a year. We've used it in the car her whole life. It's car seat sized and it's perfect little drapey, just warm enough to like be a blanket, but you can still shove it in a diaper bag or something. So yeah, it's durable. It held up to a baby, so it's going to be fine as a garment. But the ultimate plan is to make that little swatch into a loose, like tunic length vest. You're not going to get the best idea out of it like this. This other side isn't finished, but I need to frog it back and redo my swatch and my sizing to figure out what went wrong so that I can make my size correctly and then grade the other sizes off of that. But it's going to have, when it's blocked, a little like open drapey front bit. And haven't decided, I might add tassels. I have another pattern, the Stegander vest, that has not tassels, long fringe. So this one probably won't have fringe, but I do have fringe. So it's gonna be just below hip length, tunic length, I guess you could call it. Cute with leggings, but like I said, it's more of a spring design, so it's gonna be back burnered for right now, and hopefully I will work that out soon. I didn't say the name of this color, but I don't think it has a name. Fair Isle, they pretty much... Oh, it's called Gold. Okay. Colorway Gold. Number 259 in the Fair Isle port. I really like that yarn, and I'm really hoping that project comes together because everyone needs a fun springy vest, and I love mustard, so I definitely need a mustard vest. I made my daughter a smaller version in gray, and it's super cute, but I can't grade off of that one. I didn't pay enough attention. It was kind of a trial run. So I'll get that figured out, and there will be a tester call someday in the future. I think that's all I wanted to show you for my own designs. I have a couple other finished objects, works in progress-y type things that I wanted to show you for what else I've been doing. What should I show you next? Well, I guess on the theme of mustard, we'll stay with that. These, I just want to show you because, again, mustard, and I love them. This is my There and Back Again cowl pattern. I'm going to put it on over my existing shawl. It's going to look a little silly. The pattern is written for a 5 bulky, this is really bad with the other shawl under it, sorry. For a 5 or bulky weight yarn. This is actually, what is it? Lion brand Hometown USA. I always get Hometown and Homespun confused. But this is actually a fuzzy in your mouth yarn. A super bulky, so it's a 6. But I adjusted it slightly and it all works in the pattern. It's my pattern. I can do what I want, guys. But this is also available in my shops, Rav, Etsy, all that. But I have a whole slew of these made for market season. I love the texture of them. I love the fringe. The buttons are just ornamental, there to look pretty. You don't actually unbutton it because it's held together with fringe. But I have a whole bunch of these left in my stock in neutrals, but I was running out of bright colors. So when I found this Hometown USA yellow, whatever the color's called, I didn't pay attention. I don't have it with me, I can't tell you. But it's the bright gold one. Our local AC Moore is going out of business, so they had a bunch of yarn on clearance, and I got pretty much everything they had left in this in stock. So I made one with yellow fringe and these buttons. My favorite part about this design is picking the buttons for it. I always do. Really fun, big wooden button choices. This one, whoo, this one's got rainbow fringe. I'm a sucker for rainbow, guys. You're also going to find that out soon. Love me some Roy G. Biv, as you can tell behind me. But yeah, this one's got these really cool buttons that have like a bajillion holes in them. Really fun. So these are just to add to my market inventory. I have a lot of them already, but mostly in grays and beiges and stuff left. A lot of the brighter colors already got scooped up earlier in the season. So adding those in, figure I'd show you them because I finished them this morning. Then we're going to move on to, we'll stay with the crochet content. We have one more crochet item. This little beauty is not my design. This little beauty is the brainchild of my friend Molly of, where is it? White Owl Crochet Co. Put it all on the screen anyway, it won't matter. But this is her Vantis Peplum. I printed it in black and white because I'm a cheapo, but Vantis Peplum by White Owl Crochet in collaboration with Hello Stella Fibers. The name Vantis, Lindsay of Hello Stella, her sons' names are Van and Otis, so Molly thought that would be a nice ode to them. An ode to Otis and Van. But she did a tester call for this a little bit ago, and it is a DK weight Peplum pineapple lace bottom, 2-color, really, really beautiful, well-designed top. I can't show you the pattern, obviously, because it's going to be paid for, but it is a extensive, well-written, well-organized, all the charts, all the sizes, she's got schematics in there, so like the lace work is broken down row by row in a schematic and written instructions. And she has how many sizes? 22 sizes. I'm doing the size 6, which I did size up. If you go to my Instagram page, you can see photos of me wearing it. It is maroon and it's kind of gross green gold. I sized up because it's meant to fit with no positive ease, which if you're not familiar with what that means, it's a way that designers just define a fit of a garment. So positive ease is like this sweater. This sweater has a lot of, probably about 8 inches of positive ease, which is just the space of the garment away from my body. Negative ease is when, like if you're buying like a tube top, you obviously don't want it to be bigger or the same size as your body. You want it to be a little smaller so it's gonna stay on. So negative ease is when something is gonna stretch and then hug you really tightly, and no ease is when it just fits to your measurements and nothing's pulling and nothing's hanging. It's just you. But I don't particularly love the fit of something like that, so I did talk to Molly before I agreed to test, and she was okay with me sizing up So normally I think I'm a 34, 36-ish bust. I think I did the size 38. So it is a little looser on me than originally designed. But it is a 2-color. Somebody did do it in all black and it's absolutely gorgeous, but it is designed to be a 2-color. Hers is gray and yellow, the original. But mine is this beautiful maroon burgundy winey color and this gross green. It looks gold on the screen, but it definitely has some green undertones to it. And it's funny because as I was picking it, I just thought this was a really fun combo. I'm planning on wearing it for Christmas, and I just thought this was really fun and festive. But the responses that I have gotten are, ooh, it looks like wine, and then the shape looks like beer hops. I'm not a drinker, didn't think of that. I don't drink. But it is, I guess that's valid. It does look like wine, and the pineapple does have a very hoppy vibe to it. And then the other response was, ooh, Gryffindor. Not a Harry Potter fan at all. So I was not thinking house colors in the slightest. I just like these colors a lot together, and that was my inspiration. The yarn that I am using, hers, like I said, is designed in Hello Stella. That wasn't exactly in my budget. I do love using hand-dyed yarns, like I said, when I can, where I can. But if I'm going to splurge on a sweater quantity of Hello Stella or any higher end yarn, it's probably going to be for my own designs, just because I only have so much money to spend on yarn, and testing somebody else's in an expensive yarn would take away from expensive yarn that I could use on my own designs. So what we are using is this not so expensive $4.99 a ball, 30% off week, even less, Hobby Lobby Soft and Sleek DK. It is 100% acrylic, but it is a nice acrylic. It is very soft. It has 478 yards per obnoxious little donut hank. These make a mess. You need to cake them immediately. I got it in my car and it was already tangled by the time I got it home. So be gentle with these in transport and cake them right away. What I did find is her pattern calls for DK, but this was a very thin DK. Yarn has a lot of variation to it, if you haven't figured that out already. And you need to meet gauge, obviously, if you're testing a pattern, to give accurate feedback. So what I ended up doing, because I think Lindsay's Hello Stella yarn is a heavier DK, maybe more towards the worsted, because a lot of people are actually making it in worsted weight, and that worked for them. I was able to meet gauge with this held double. So it's really more of a fingering weight. You can kind of see the gross green a little better, I think, here. But yeah, it's not yellow, it's a gross green. So I'm holding this double throughout both parts of the top. This color is called Dijon, and I believe the maroony one is called Oxblood. Hobby Lobby, it's $4.99. It's great. I really like it. I bought all of it because they don't stock a lot of colors there. Or they stock a lot of colors, they don't stock a lot of balls of each one. So I think they had like 4 of each color, and I was like, I'm buying those all. I don't know how many I'm gonna need. And I used pretty much all of them. Because I was holding it double. Yardage, you wouldn't need that much if you were not holding it double. But anyway, it is a raglan top. There are a couple changes I did make to mine that I would like to note besides sizing up. So it does fit me looser, like I said. I am doing something over there you can hear about in a second. The only other thing I did change in the top, actually 2 things. This hook size that I used to meet gauge, I ended up going down a hook size once I got through the increases, just because my bust to waist ratio, I knew it was going to be really boxy if I continued going straight. It doesn't have any shaping to it. So I went down a hook size just for this little portion. You can tell it's slightly tighter, but I don't think it's noticeable, especially to someone who's not in the fiber arts. Went down a hook size there, and then back to the regular hook size for the pineapple lace. So that is just, it is just gorgeous, guys. I did block this, so it opened up really nicely, and it's got just like this flowy, drapey, want to do twirls in it kind of gorgeousness. The only other thing I did is I added 4 rows to what's in the pattern, which again I okayed with Molly, because as a tester you need to make sure you're okay before you do changes. Added 4 rows because I have a very long torso and I didn't want this to be shorter than in the design. If you can see, it's kind of tunic length on Molly. And mine hits, this part hits about 1.5 inches above my belly button before the Peplum section begins. If I made another one, I'd probably add 6 rows instead of 4 and just get a tiny bit more length there. But I'm wearing it with a tank top underneath, so it doesn't really matter where it hits. That's just my personal preference. And also another change I am making, it is, as you can see, designed to be a short-sleeved garment. But because I live in New England and I wanted to wear this for Christmas, as I was taking pictures of it as designed, I took some with a black cropped sweater on, and I felt like the sweater really detracted from the design. It matched and it looked pretty, but it detracted from the overall gorgeousness. So I would like to, again, permission granted by Molly, I'm going to add sleeves. I think just 3/4 length, or like, yeah, I guess half length, slightly below my elbow, just so I don't have to layer it and I can wear it comfortably in winter. Obviously with a coat if I'm outside, but for Christmas parties and the like, I'm going to be adding sleeves. This, I've just done a couple rows. When it's done, if I do get sleeves on it and it looks good, I'll show you again. If it doesn't look good, I'm going to rip it back and I'll wear my cardigan. But Molly has agreed to, if a couple of us are adding sleeves, I think that she's going to put the link to our Ravelry project pages if people are interested in the modification on how we added the sleeves. There will be a Ravelry project page for this in my Ravelry. I haven't added it yet. Maybe by the time the video goes up it'll be there, but I wanted to get all my notes done, and I like to do my project pages when I'm finished, not as I'm going. So that will be there. I know the test is running through December 5th, so the pattern probably won't be out until mid-December. I don't know if she's announced a release date yet. She's a busy lady. Let's talk about Molly for a second. My girl Molly. She is, not only does she write the most beautiful, thorough, well-charted, well-written, all the photos. She's got like a whole section for notes and a section for like, she's going to have all of the pattern tester photos in the back. She's got a chart that you fill in with all of your measurements and how it's going to work for your row count and everything. It is a long pattern, but it is because it is so thorough. I would recommend printing it out in black and white if you're trying to preserve printer ink, or using it on an iPad or phone if that works for you, just because it is very long, but it's for good reason. There are 22 sizes and she covers them so well. It is honestly, I haven't done any of her other patterns. I'm going to in the future, but honestly, the best laid out pattern that I have encountered. It's really beautiful. It's a work of art, Molly. You're amazing. There's something really special about her because I feel like she's using more of her brain than the rest of us. I think a lot of us creative types, at least for myself, like I said, I'm not mathy at all. I am very much the creative, artsy side of things, creative thinking, which I think that's right brain. Is that right? Right brain, creative, left brain, mathematic-y, STEM stuff. But Molly, it falls very much into that STEM category, the science, technology, engineering, mathematics. She's an astrophysicist, guys. Literally an astrophysicist. Where is it? There's a page where she has like pattern written by Molly with a master's in, girl is an astrophysicist. She is smart, guys. And she does like computer coding and all the smarty pants stuff. And then she crochets as well and designs, and she does markets, and her mom like works for her and makes stuff with her, and she's just adorable. And I think she sews as well. She's all of the things. Molly, I'm impressed with you. Please never watch this podcast. It's awkward. And she has beautiful mermaid hair. I just caressed her beautiful mermaid hair. Beautiful, gorgeous, long blonde hair. She's just a lovely lady, and she has been so good to test for. Such a pleasure. So helpful. If people get stumped, she's like taking her time to record like special video tutorials just for them. It's written out special instructions to maybe reword things. So pleasant to work with. I will definitely be using her patterns and hopefully testing for her again in the future. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to say about Vantis. Very impressed. As far as testing, I don't get to do it a lot just because, like I said, I am momming and running my business and designing and trying to focus on, stuff that makes me money, let's be honest. But I think it is very important for crochet designers to maybe not necessarily test, but to use other people's patterns sometimes. Because otherwise I think you can get stuck in your own way of thinking and your own way of wording things. I find it very helpful not only to do other people's patterns, but to test for other people to see how they explain things, how they work through the process with a tester. Obviously, I'm not doing other people's patterns to then copy them. That is stealing and horrible. But there is a lot of value in seeing how other people lay things out, or how they word things, or where they include what information, or just all that stuff. It's very good to just keep feeding your mind more crochet information, because there's always something to learn from somebody else and their process and what they've learned. So I really enjoy testing when I can. And yeah, like I said, it's been nothing but a great experience with Molly. So that is my Vantis Peplum, and I think that brings us to the end of my crochet content. We're into knitting now, guys. I have been knitting since I was a kid, but I didn't take it seriously until like high school, maybe 12, 14 years ago, a while ago. And then I got back into crocheting, kind of dropped the knitting, and I just knit on the side now here and there. I don't sell knitted stuff. I don't design knitted stuff other than that one rectangular knit baby blanket. I don't have any knit patterns. I'm not a knitter with a capital K at this point. I'm a knitter with a trying my darndest to be a knitter. I think I do pretty good, but I'm really proud, guys. I made socks. Where are they? Let me show you. Let me show you these socks. Da-da-da. These socks, they are sisters, not twins. And I have worn them. They were blocked and looking fabulous, but I have worn them and they are now looking like they have been worn. I finished them a few weeks ago. I know they look itty bitty. They are not. They do fit me. They are the smallest size in the pattern, which I will tell you in a moment. Hold on. Let's regroup. These are the Vanilla Latte socks, guys. This is a free pattern on Ravelry by, I believe her name is Virginia Rose Jeans or something like that. Insert her name. I haven't been able to find her on Instagram. If she has a social media presence, I am unaware of it. But this is her Vanilla Latte sock pattern, and I would say it is a beginner pattern, but just having never made socks before, it did get a little bit fiddly for me. Because I feel like there was a lot of information in there that was maybe you were supposed to just kind of infer it from having done other knit patterns, and I didn't have all of it. But my mom, who is a knitter and has made socks, was able to help me make sense of some things. But like I said, they are not identical. I think they are the same length and the same width, in theory. If not, they're really close. And I have ordered some sock blockers. They are coming off of Etsy from Poland, so they will be here soon, and next time I show you socks, they will be prettier. But there are definitely mistakes, like that stitch is the wrong stitch. There's definitely some issues in the ribbing where I maybe didn't pay attention in my little seed stitch bit, like right there. I don't know if you can see. I knit on some pearls or pearls on some knits or something, but thankfully it's a very speckly yarn, and speckly yarn is very forgiving in hiding mistakes, so that's why I chose that for my first pattern for socks. This yarn is by a local dyer from Connecticut. Knits for Comfort is her company name, and I believe this yarn, I don't have the ball band, but I believe it is called Scrumptious Fire and Spice, or something to that regard. It is hand-dyed fingering weight superwash merino, as socks should be, with some nylon in there. I think it's 75/25. But yeah, I'm very pleased. I love this color. I did 2x2 ribbing on the top, and then I did the whole little pattern. It's got like this little seed stitch ribby bit in between. I did an eye of partridge heel for the first time. Did a heel for the first time at all. I love the slip stitchy eye of partridge action there. And then the toes, I think I did there was a couple options in the pattern. Square toe, star toe, wedge toe. I think this is a wedge toe. I don't really know. I did a toe, guys, and I kitchenered it by myself like a sock making adult. But I definitely, if you look carefully at the toes, One of them, which one? I think this one is correct because I carried the ribbing pattern up the front. This one I totally forgot, and the ribbing like ends down here. So yeah, they don't match, but they're in my shoes, and who's gonna know? I am gonna be hashtag Birkenstocking them with my Birkenstocks, but really no one is gonna be analyzing my toes that carefully. It's my first pair. I'm pretty proud. I did like 12 years ago make a worsted weight acrylic purple and green hideous scratchy pair of socks, and I hated them. But these I'm pretty pleased with. They fit nicely, they're really comfy, and yeah, I made the smallest size. I usually wear like a 6.5 or 7 foot, but I have really wide feet. I don't know, it's kind of weird. So I have to figure out my exact happy fit of sock. I made them on ChowGoo 9-inch circulars, US size 2, I think. I like the fabric of the size 1s better, but they're just so tiny. My hands were cramped so bad. I'm not a fan of DPNs. I have used them. I don't love them. Maybe I just need to use them more. And I have not successfully been able to figure out Magic Loop. Give me all the hints, guys, because I feel like I'd be the most comfortable with Magic Loop because I like knitting on circular needles. But I'm just not good at Magic Loop right now, and I am I'll show you on this other one we're going to talk about in a second. I am an English knitter, so I throw from the right side instead of picking. And when I learned as a kid, I never figured out like the whole tensioning in your fingers. I know people do different ways. So I don't tension. I literally pick it up and throw it every single time. And that slows you down considerably. I have tried to learn correct knitting. I'm going way slower now, obviously, because I'm talking to you, but I have tried to knit correctly, or how I've seen other people knitting, and I just have not been able to get the hang of it. I've tried continental. I have not had great success at it. My tension's just all wackadoodle. But yeah, I do okay with this weird English tension situation that I have. It works for me. So this is what we're doing for now, and if I really focus more time on knitting, I probably could get it down. But like I said, knitting is a very side when I have extra time thing for me. So I made a pair of socks, and then I got cocky and I was like, you know what, I make socks now, guys. So I started making up my own socks. Again, these are the smallest, I think, what, 58, 56, is that what it is? Knit patterns for socks. I did a 2x2 cuff again in, these are still in the size 2s. I think I did the cuff in size 1s because I like it a little tighter than it was on this other pair. 2x2, and I was like, you know what, I really like twisted ribbing. I'm going to make an entirely twisted rib sock. That's going to take forever, especially with my slow knitting. But I have this mystery skein that I got in a local fiber swap. I have no idea what it was. It was a leftover. I had no tag with it. I think it was like 60 grams. I really like it. It has a similar texture to Knit Picks Hawthorne. I don't know if it's that, but kind of that, it's a 2-ply? Or 2-ply? I think it's a 2-ply. Might be a 3. I don't know. But that, you can see the twist in it really well. And it feels a little extra softer than a merino nylon mix, so I think it might have cashmere in it. I could be wrong. Either way, it's really soft. I love how it's working up. I'm just doing a 6x2? Yeah, a 6x2 twisted rib situation for the body of the sock. This is all I have going so far. We'll see how it goes. I think I'm going to do the Eye of Partridge heel again because I liked that. I also like how it looks on the inside with the pearl side and then the twisted rib here. So I don't know, I guess it could totally be that way too. Ooh, kind of like that. I don't know. I'm working on it like 2 rows a week kind of thing. It's not happening quick. I probably should write things down or the second sock is going to be really special. But I don't know. I make socks, guys. I'm a sock knitter. I feel like that's a kind of a milestone in knitting. So I've knit sweaters. I've knit a lot of stuff for my daughter just because it's cheaper and faster to knit baby makes. Also project bag from the dollar store. Classy, I know. But yeah, I haven't done a ton of knitting, especially not recently. Probably in the last year or so leading up to my daughter, I did the most knitting of just like little jumpers and cardigans and booties and that sort of thing. This baby makes are quick, and I haven't done a ton of knitting for myself. Like I said, I'm designing. I gotta do my own crochet designy stuff. I ain't got time for that knitting. But I do really enjoy it. It is very relaxing, and yeah, I like to have a fiber arts options, I guess. I take a break from my crocheting and I knit. So my hands are just perpetually cramped and sad. I should take more breaks. But yeah. I have one more thing I want to talk to you about. Also tedious and tough on my hands, but I have been making stitch markers. I have collaborated with my friend Johanna of Joha Designs is her business name. Hang on, I just don't want to dump these because it would make a big mess. But my friend Johanna, she is also a local Connecticut maker. She makes really beautiful, I should actually pick this back up because maybe you'll be able to focus better, really beautiful hand-rolled paper beads. Can you see it if I hold it up against that? Oh no, you can't because I'm lying on the screen. I'll do my best to show you. They are small. She makes these hand-rolled paper beads, and they're just really, really beautiful. They're all one of a kind, really special, and she can literally tell you where the paper came from. Like if I just picked this up and sent her a text and was like, hey, what was this from? She'd be like, oh yeah, that was from this book on this page, and it was a picture of these trees and this dog. And she will know all of those details, and it's incredible. She is a really talented artist. She does this for a living. She makes these beads and does mostly necklaces and earrings, I believe. But you can go look at Joha Design. She has really, really gorgeous stuff, and I think she glazes them. I'm not sure what her process, it's her process, it's a secret. But they are not, I know sometimes paper beads don't do well with moisture. So somebody had asked me, like, if you're holding it or touching it with your hand, is it going to be a problem? Are they going to like get sweaty and break down? No, she glazes them. They are hard, and I mean, I can still feel the texture of the roll to it, but I can't like pick off any part of it. It is sealed and very quality, and she does great work. So I am pleased to be collaborating with her. I have a whole slew of random colored, beautiful, she calls them beadlings, just beautiful, beautiful stitch marker babies. I'm making them on either gold or silver, not like real gold, real silver. I believe it's sterling silver and some sort of gold plated, whatever they sell at Hobby Lobby and Joann's. Quality earring findings. These are, I think, are called lever backs. And the reason I love these is they are crochet friendly. A lot of them, I do have some in my, let me find one. A lot of the knitting ones are for stitch markers are on a loop. So this one's on a jump ring, it would be knit only. But on a loop, you obviously can't use it in crocheting because you're working each stitch and like sealing it off. So if you crocheted in something in a loop, it would be stuck in your project forever. But because knitting, you're working with live stitches, it works. Where's the one I wanted to show you? With crochet, you just hook it into your project and then you can take it out. And the other nice thing about the lever backs, as opposed to the, I think they're called lobster claws, like the little necklace back ones, is these fit into any weight yarn. I mean, any within reason. They're not going to fit in like giant blanket roving, but a lot of the lobster claw ones are only going to fit on lace or fingering weight. This is going to fit on all of it. So I really like those. They're super, get my stock go, I'll show you. They're super lightweight. They do not pull on your project because they are made of paper. Very light. I don't know if you can see. Can I show you? It's not, I'm holding it, but it's not like dragging it down. It's super light, super durable, and they're just really fun. And you could kind of pick them to match like a hand-dyed yarn. Really fun colors in there. So I have done one shop update. I've been selling them on Instagram in my stories and then saving them to a highlight. So the ones that I have available currently are up in my highlights, and you're going to find all the pricing information and whatnot there. I've just been selling them kind of de-stash style, where I put them up and then you send me your email, first come, first serve, and I send you an invoice and we square away and I send them off to you. But the next shop update, if you will, that I'm going to be doing is going to be November 3rd. Not November 3rd, that's already passed. November 23rd, which is a couple Saturdays from now. But by the time this is up, today's the 11th, doing the shop update on the 23rd. I will be posting more on Instagram about that if you want more info on when that's happening. Like I said, that's all going to take place on Instagram, so you want to be following me there. But I will be posting pictures of them. I can't see what I'm doing now. Pictures of them. Some of them will be in sets, and some of them will be sold individual or make your own set. So like I have an individual price, and then like if you buy 3, there's one price. If you buy 5, there's another price. And then in addition to the rolled paper ones, I also have, because I at some point in my life was making jewelry, I have a whole bunch of fun bead ones. That one's not one, that's just a bead. A whole bunch of fun, beady, just fun other ones. Some of them are on the jump rings for knitting, and some of them are on, that's a jump ring as well, but some of them are on the lever backs, like I said, which can be used for knit or crochet as progress keepers or stitch markers. These will make great gifts for your fibery friends, especially if you're doing some sort of swap, like a fiber share type event. Yeah, they would make a great Christmas or holiday or birthday or really anything for anybody in your life that loves knitting or crocheting. I guess they could also be used as earrings if you wanted. The sets are going to come in sets of 3 or 5, but whatever you want to use them as earrings, I'm not going to stop you. But Johanna makes really gorgeous jewelry, so don't buy it for me to be jewelry. Go buy from her. But I'm really excited. I really love them. Made myself a whole bunch, and I think I have about 50 that I'm going to be putting in the shop update. So if you would like more info on that, go follow on Instagram and stay tuned for the stitch marker goodness that is coming. I think that's it, guys. I think I said everything that I wanted to say to you. I think. Again, first try, not sure if this is going to be my final format or how it all went. Be kind. I really do want to get into this podcasting thing because I really enjoy watching podcasts. And yeah, there can always be more fiber lovers, especially crocheters, represented in that podcast realm. So let me know what you think. If there's something I could do better, let me know. If there's a format you prefer, let me know. If you love this, let me know. If you hated it, let me know kindly. Like I said before, if you want to like or subscribe to get more content from me, I really appreciate that. There's quite a few of you here, and I'm just blown away by that you would listen to me talk and want to spend time with me over the magic of YouTube. So yeah, like, subscribe. If you turn on the notifications, you'll know when I post new stuff, because I'm going to be kind of posting all over the place. My schedule is very sporadic. I have been trying to upload on Fridays. Podcast-wise, it's probably going to be monthly. But I have been putting out other informational, like how I set up my craft fair, some crochet lingo, like makery stuff has also been going up. I did a vlog of a fiber festival that I went to. Kind of just throwing all the content out there and waiting for you guys to tell me what really floats your boat. Because I have a lot to say, I think. I really enjoy blogging, but I think this visual style is going to be well suited to a lot of you. Some of the posts on my blog are going to have corresponding videos, like how I set up my craft fair. There's a blog post that goes with that. Podcasts are going to be a standalone YouTube thing. But yeah, follow me all the places so you know all the good stuff, I guess. I appreciate you, and I hope that you join me next time for the next episode. And yeah, we're going to grow this thing together. So thank you for watching with me, and until I talk to you next, my fiber friends, happy making. Thanks, guys. Bye.